It's like, oh, um, I'm not sure if I can record. Oh, it is recording. This is the
Oh, it is
last.
recording.
Yeah, yeah, but they said you are at your limit, so this is probably the last thing I can record. Okay, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, please excuse the hair. We just had to do whatever we could today.
Listen, it looks beautiful nonetheless.
Thank you. Um, okay, so welcome everyone to Transformation Thursday. Yes, Transformation Thursday. This is the second Thursday of 2023. So thank you very much for joining. I am so happy to announce our speaker for this evening, Miss Seychelles.
Hello,
Thank you so.
everyone.
Yes. Brooklyn resident, Reiki master, and I'm so super excited to hear her topic today. We're going to be speaking about holy love healing.
Holy Love Reiki. So it's called the Holy Love Reiki experience. You want me to go?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's your show. Take it away.
So everyone, welcome. This is actually my first interview for the year, so that's kind of dope for me. I'm actually going to be making a more concerted effort moving forward. I just had to get a lot off of my plate, especially with school. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot more and hearing a lot more from me, especially when it comes to Reiki, especially when it comes to healing, when it comes to self-care, when it comes to your health. This year is all about planning. It's a 7-year in numerology. And in the 7-year, it's about planning your next steps and making sure you can go the long game. You can actually play for the long game. Which brings me to why I literally just had the first session of the year on Saturday. And I opened up with a Holy Love Experience 3. Now, before I get into what a Holy Love Experience 3 is, I know you guys want to know, what is a Holy Love Experience, right? So a Holy Love Experience is a deep immersive meditation in which you experience a healing that is needed no matter where you are in your life. There are literally 4 experiences, and it's really up to the practitioner on what she feels called for that group. Now, each experience heals a part of you that meets you where you are. And what does that mean? We all are on our own journeys in life, right? We all are, whether on a spiritual journey, whether our soul is calling us back to ourselves, or we're just embarking on everything that we've learned, especially for those that were quote unquote churchgoers, grew up in the church. A lot of you were indoctrinated a certain way. You were taught to believe certain things. If you notice, within the last 3 years, starting from 2020, when the age of Aquarius reset, you literally saw a shift in the collective where a lot of the churchgoers are not believing the people that's leading them. And it's making them question who they are present day. Now, let's start with a Holy Love Experience 1, right? Holy Love Experience 1 checks you when it comes to self-love, when it comes to if you have abandonment issues, if you just don't feel wanted, if you just feel like you're in a room full of people and you're by yourself, no one understands you. It's just, you just don't feel complete. So Holy Love 1 is all about divine love, which is installed more clearly and deeply into one's soul. It is a special kind of love that is more highly refined and has a higher level of consciousness than human love. So it supersedes any love a person can give you outside of yourself, right? It is simultaneously many things. It is a feeling of being loved by a kind and wonderful energy. It is a feeling of being cared for by an energy that knows you intimately and is fully capable of taking care of all your needs. It is a feeling of being safe. It is a healing and enhancement of your own ability to love, so there are no unhealthy attachments and unhealthy feelings associated with it. It is an energy similar to life energy that flows throughout your body and your entire being and is part of who you are. It can be present in your space without having to have someone or something as its focus. It soothes, relaxes, nurtures, and heals very deeply. Now, I don't know about you, but the first time I learned about the Holy Love One, I kind of got turned on because I'm like, there's actually something that can do that without a person, like it said, without something or someone making you feel that way. That's when you know you've gotten to a deeper level of love. That's when a lot of people don't even know what intimacy is. They think intimate is getting into bed with the person that you like. No, it's about a feeling that is undescribable, something that lights your body up and you're just like, oh my God, how can I keep doing it? It makes the serotonin in the body just go beyond to have you feeling a feeling of euphoria. Now, imagine going through a meditative state and feeling all of those things. That's what a Holy Love One experience is. Now, I'm not going to go in order because there's a method to my madness, which I'll get to in the end. Now, let's talk about a Holy Love Experience 3, which is the root of a lot of people's problems. A Holy Love Experience 3 actually scans your timeline from conception to post-birth up to 5 years of age, when ironically, the root chakra is formed. The root chakra is formed the first 5 years of your life. Now, what is so significant about a Holy Love 3 experience? The significance is it literally scans from the time you were conceived. How were you conceived? And that can be a touchy subject for a lot of people who don't know or have the strength to face that. Outside of being conceived, while you were in your womb, what was your mother going through? A lot of people have womb trauma and don't even know. So you come into the world kind of, quote unquote, excuse my French, fucked up, because whatever your mother was feeling, you were feeling while she was carrying you. Were there something going on with your parents? How was your parents' relationship while your mother was carrying you? Does that contribute to some of the womb trauma that you might have experienced? Do you realize relationships are hard for you present day? Do you not know how to connect with people on a nurturing level? Are you just alpha female, alpha female, alpha female? Post-birth, what happened the first 5 years of your life? Do you remember the first 5 years of your life? Was it stable or was it rocky? Were you in an abusive household? Were you in a nurturing household? All of that plays a part. And that's what a Holy Love 3 experience. It scans that particular timeline and it heals any type of trauma, any type of ancestral issues, anything going on with your parents, anything with how you were conceived. The experiences for each individual is different, because in my experience, what I will say after explaining these first two experiences, if a person is nowhere near their spiritual journey, they really don't realize what's healed, but it comes to them later. They don't have an immersive experience like the people who are currently on a spiritual journey or even just embarking on their spiritual journey. You have to be open when you come into these experiences to get the best experience out of it. Regardless if you don't get the experience, the dope part is you're being healed regardless if you know it or not. Now, this takes me to Holy Love Experience 2. The Holy Love Experience 2 is all about where you are present day. Presently, do you feel like you've done everything and done all the shadow work? Excuse me, all the shadow work, all the inner child healing, and you've just hit a plateau? Are you feeling stuck and you just don't even know where to begin on a journey? You just know that there's something more out here in life that you want, but you just don't know how to get to it. That's what a Holy Love 2 is about. It currently scans your timeline, present day, in this lifetime, nothing in the past, like a Holy Love 3, which goes backwards. But it's current timeline, and it gives you an experience that needs healing and is important in helping you move forward on your spiritual path. It also works with aspects and energies involved to help heal the issue. So sometimes your spirit team works with the holy fire energy, and your ancestors, maybe your highest vibrating ancestors, spirit guides, archangels, they step in, and along with the holy fire, they clear up what needs to clear up again, so you can move along, right? Now, it brings me to those that are spiritually evolving. For me as a practitioner and Reiki master, I literally pick who gets a holy love experience for, because again, this is for the healers and the students out there. There's a lot of people out there that don't realize that they're healers. Two ways to know if you're a healer right off the bat. Do you have an extremely high sex drive and you just can't get enough? And you start asking, are you a nymphomaniac? Like your sacral is just always activated, but the creativity is not coming in, but your hormones are kicking off. Or does your hands vibrate? If you've answered yes to either one of those two questions, yes, you are a healer and your powers are trying to activate. It's not that you have a high sex drive, it's that you have so much energy activating between your sacral and your solar plexus that it's trying to alert you, hey, you have a gift. Let's explore that. So again, if you've had one of those two, and the third, I use a particular deck, which is the goddess deck, the African-American goddess deck. And if Sekhmet ever comes out in that reading, that is confirmation number 3 that you are a healer. As we all know, the Egyptian goddess Sekhmet is the goddess of healing. If she ever comes to you, whether in a reading, whether in a vision, whether in meditation, wherever, if she makes herself known, she's telling you, hey, you belong with me, follow me. And I recommend you follow her. Now, a holy love 4 experience. Hold on, guys. A holy love 4 experience uses the consciousness of where you are mentally, physically, most important, spiritually, and emotionally. And it evaluates where you are and provides the energy and experience that is appropriate to take you to the next development as a student or a healer. So again, each practitioner is different, right? Each practitioner kind of picks if they do it as a single service or as a collective in a group. I personally like to do it as a group. The good news is I am actually opening up single serve sessions because sometimes people don't want to discuss in a group their experience. And I normally take them off to a breakout room, especially if I pick up something within the experience. I literally will take you to a breakout room and discuss it and then bring you back. Like I know when it's intimate enough that I need to pull you aside. But the dope part about these classes, when I do have them, because I have them monthly, always around the full moon, either on, before, or maybe the day or two after a full moon, but it's always in conjunction with the full moon. And the reason why I picked the full moon, as we know, you use the full moon's energy to release and to start planning and preparing for the new moon to plant your seed. So whatever you plant in the full moon should come around by the new moon. And the biggest part about using the full moon energy, again, it's about the release. It's about taking those stored emotions out of us that can eventually lead to disease if they're unexpressed for too long, and releasing it, transmuting that energy so you can heal on a deeper level and get to where your soul is calling you to. Guys, I got to take a little break because my throat is getting scratchy. So if there's any questions before I go any further, I would love to hear some.
So, yes, certainly. Just kind of pulling back, some people may not even know what Reiki is. So, could you give like an explanation of Reiki?
Sure. So the Google version of Reiki it's an old Japanese form of healing, right? It's an old Japanese form of healing with the use of hands and energy. The short version, and am I allowed to share my screen, Abina?
Sure, you need to share.
Sure. I actually have some slides from one of my classes that I've done about what is Reiki.
Okay, so I think I have to make you a host. Um, so yeah, so if anyone comes in, feel free to just add them. Okay, so I'll make you host. Okay, can you share now?
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
take it away.
Give me 1 second. Let me just pull it up. Let me just get them in order.
So I just want to take a second, if I could, for people watching, thank you. This is Transformation Thursday, week 113. And, I gotta scooch down here. Um, so if anyone ever has any suggestions or questions about topics that they would like to learn about or discuss, feel free to reach out to me. I can tell you that we do have some upcoming workshops on crystals and other various modes of healing. But if there's anything that you'd like to learn about, please let me know and I can locate a speaker who can address these topics.
All right. So the first slide, what is Reiki, right? That is the $1 million question. Like I said, the Google version it's an old Japanese form of healing. So with that being said, I'm sorry, hold on. Okay, here goes the slide.
Good old Mercury. Good old Mercury. That's all I can ever say.
Lord, I was reading and I was on mute. I'm so sorry. You can hear me now?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. What is Reiki? Wikipedia's definition is Reiki is a Japanese form of energy healing, a type of alternative medicine. Reiki practitioners use a technique called palm healing or hands-on healing, through which a universal energy is said to be transferred through the palms of the practitioner to the patient in order to encourage emotional or physical healing. My definition, it's a life-changing experience that finds you when you most need it. It does utilize a form of energy. Westerns and scientists call it bio or universal energy. I learned it as a life force energy. What does that mean in layman terms? The first person that created Reiki is Usui Sensei. Usui Sensei. Mikao Usui Sensei is his complete name, but long story short, because it's a whole story that goes into it, he literally, all right, I use this analogy even when I teach my Reiki classes, right? If anyone out there has watched The Last Dragon, I like to compare the way Usui Sensei found Reiki was the same way that Leroy found his power, right? He goes to his master at the time and he is basically told he's going to die. He prepares himself and goes up to a mountain, preparing to physically die, not realizing that a part of him was dying off and a newer part of him was emerging. He sat under a waterfall for 40-something days. And within that time, he let the water beat his head 40 days, 40 nights, right? After the time that the water beat his head, he got an enlightenment. And within that enlightenment is where he died. The old part of him, and when he emerged out of the water, a new part of him emerged, right? That was the dying that his sensei basically warned him about. As he was coming down the hill, because now he got this profound thing where he realized he didn't go to physically die. He went to have an old part of him, so the newer part of him, the more evolved part of him could show. As he's descending down the hill, he bumps his toe. He immediately, as he stubbed his toe, natural reaction, he grabs his foot. When he grabbed his foot, he noticed an energy emitted from his hand, and within minutes, the pain was gone. That's how Reiki was basically found. He then proceeded to open up a school, an etheric school that not only taught Reiki, but it taught magic and a whole host of things within that time. The problem is that his teachings were so long, thought out, and profound within the school. He only had 2 people that studied under him. Off of those 2 people, they created their own lineage as to how Reiki became today and as to why we have Reiki practitioners in the world today. So for those of us that are attuned under the Reiki lineage. We are attuned under the Usui lineage, which is why it's Usui Holy Fire Reiki, Holy Reiki. And that is basically the story behind Reiki. But what is it really? Reiki is so universal that it's not only used in palliative care and those that are on their dying bed. It's used for emotional healing. It's used for mental healing. It's used for physical healing. It's a universal healing within our bodies that the energy, we are a conduit. We are the vessel to where the energy healing that comes down from the Most High, from our ascended masters, from our spirit guides and our ancestors. We are the vessel used to transfer the energy that is out there. There are certain ones of us that are attuned with many gifts, and with the addition of Reiki, it just heightens the gifts and the healing that is emitted. I hope that answered everyone's question. Do you get a good understanding of what Reiki is now?
You know what I put on a comment on Facebook was like how they say like in church, laying on of hands. And I was just saying, we are just full of untapped energy and potential, but we just don't realize it. Like it's not, I guess, like formalized, so we don't really understand it that way.
So I'm going to address that church question. Laying of hands has always been a thing. And I personally feel like, again, there are certain ones that are picked that are given gifts. Now, when it comes to the church, right? We're initiated in by someone through Usui Sensei's lineage. When it comes to church and your pastor, preacher, deacon, or whomever is laying hands, they're getting their power from the Most High. We're getting our power from the Most High. There's really no difference. The only difference is, again, churches, and this is just my opinion, and I'm going to be very careful in how I say this. In my opinion, churches were ways to control people. It was supposed to be about a universal thing. It was supposed to be non-judgmental. It was supposed to be a lot of things. As we have seen over the years, none of what they preach is what it is. When it comes to a Reiki practitioner, when it comes to a deacon, neither one of us are God. We get our guidance from God or whomever you pray to, right? So what makes us any different outside of me being in a building that makes you pay to come in and you just pay me to help you? What's the difference? And again, my personal opinion, everybody's healing journey is different. Some people believe in getting dressed every Sunday and going to sit in a building and listen to a man preach or a woman preach to them. For me, I can have church anywhere. And again, like I said, if you look at the shift from 2020 to now, how many people actually believe in a church anymore? So to answer your question, no, there's no difference in the laying of the hands, because again, the difference for me is I'm not praying on people. I'm praying over people. I'm helping you understand how you can heal yourself. I'm not telling you you have to come to me every week and put money in this plate in order to get you come to me. I don't search you out. And that was something that I had to learn early when I was just a regular Reiki practitioner. I thought it was about putting myself out there, overextending myself. Hey, come to me, come to me. And then it started feeling gimmicky. And I'm like, this is not how I want to do this. And I went back to, at the time, my Reiki practitioner. And I said to her, I said, when you became a practitioner, how did it feel? Like, and she said to me, she said, you're not going to look for your tribe. Your tribe is going to find you. The same way y'all find a church home is how my students, as I like to call them, find me. Because I tell everyone, I don't want to see you on my screen or in my place of business for 7-8 years. I want to see you monthly, quarterly, because when you leave me, I want you to be able to do what I do if that's your calling. But if not, I want you to know how to heal yourself. I want you to know how to go inside instead of looking outwardly. That's what the church preaches, right? But they don't want you to come, they don't want you to go in to me, in my opinion. And I'm not going to put that on all churches. They want you to keep coming to them. This is my thing. There's too many people in the world that needs healing. So whomever is meant for me and whomever I'm meant to ignite, because I'm an igniter, I ignite in you what you can't see, and I help you get to the root of your problems to go on. There's too many people. I can't stay on just one person. So yes, I'm going to see you periodically, but 7 days, the max is what I'll spend with you, because within those 7 days, trust me, I'm that confident that I can help you see where things are going wrong and to get you on your way. And once I get you on your way, you use the tools that I equip you with. Same way the deacons tell you to use the tools. There's someone. Oh, should I let this person in?
Absolutely.
Oh,
And what I was going to say was, as a healer, what you do is you help and guide the people to kind of discover the healing that's already in them.
correct. So it's funny because my Reiki master, I remember when I was going to get attuned for Reiki 1 and 2, and I remember her making a comment in the beginning of the class. She was like, I get a lot of powerful people. She was like, all of my students are powerful. And I was just like, are you trying to gas us? Like, in the beginning, I was a little skeptical, I'm not going to lie, because it was new for me. I knew it was a journey I was being called on, but it was just me rewiring my subconscious and being more open-minded to where I was being led. And I didn't understand why she made that comment until I became a Reiki practitioner myself, even before I got to master. And as a practitioner, I noticed I got a lot of healers. Like, my thing was, my tribe coming to me is healers. 90%, I'll say, I'm not even gonna say 70% of my students are healers. The other 30% are either embarking on their spiritual journey or stuck somewhere within their spiritual journey. But 70% of my students, and it's funny because I pulled these numbers the other day, I was shocked at myself. I saw over 1,000 people last year. I didn't even think that was possible. And I'm not throwing that number out there to brag. What I'm throwing that number out there is to show you how much people need healing, how much people are lost right now. And I know that my mission is to show people their path. I'm that fire under your ass that's going to get you moving. I'm that sister that's going to give you that tough love conversation that you don't want to hear, but I'm also going to give it to you and say it with love. Again, I'm just that person that's going to get you going. My goal is to help you help yourself. What is next?
Yeah, definitely got some likes here on Instagram, just saying, just a couple of likes here on Instagram. So thank you.
Anybody have any questions so far? Come on, people, come on, hit me with some questions.
Yeah, I don't see any questions yet.
Okay. Well, guys, moving along. Like I explained to you in the beginning, I have Reiki classes every month. And right now I open my calendar for the classes in quarterly intervals. So right now, the next class is actually on February. Hold on one second. I'm just going to pull it up. Right now. Wait.
So I guess I do have a question. So for people who are just learning about this, I mean, you're throwing new words out to people like Reiki and healing and things like that. So what can happen during a Reiki session? Well, yeah, what happens, what's being done, what can they possibly experience? Of course, there's a variety of experiences, but what could be the result of a Reiki session, and particularly a Holy Love Reiki session?
Okay, so a regular Reiki session, especially if you are new to me, the first session is all about me seeing where you are. You basically go into a deep meditative experience. I don't like to say it like this, but I say it like this. Sometimes it's like a drug, like anesthesia. You don't realize you're out until I bring you back. And sometimes each person is different. Sometimes I go to bring you back out of the meditative experience and the energy isn't done with you yet. So I have to wait for you kind of to come back, because sometimes wherever you are within that experience, and depending on what's being healed, the energy will keep you there until it feels like you've had enough to, when you come back to your present state, that you're able to function. Depending on how much energy is within you, depending on how closed off you are, depending on if you have chakras open and closed, because there are times when your lower meridian, which consists of your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus, that is considered your physical, how you are within the physical world. Your lower meridian and can be open and your upper meridian can be closed, and vice versa. And your upper meridian consists of the throat, the third eye, the crown. Now, the heart is one of the two most important chakras because it is the bridge between the lower, which is your physical, and your upper, which is your spiritual. That's why it's important to have an open heart center. When you see a lot of cold-hearted and bitter people, you automatically know their heart chakra is either closed or blocked. And the colder and more bitter they are is most times from a blocked heart chakra. So you can't get any guidance. So your physical, which is your root, your sacral, and your solar, could be actually crumbling, and your upper meridian is trying to give you that guidance, but it can't get through because the heart is shut down. Always think of your heart as a bridge. And if that bridge is closed, the energy can't flow through you, and you can't get the spiritual guidance from your crown in order to know how to move. Again, another thing that's important is your health, learning to keep your gut clear. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a practicing naturopathic homeopathic student. I'm getting my doctorate in homeopathy, naturopathy, ideology, with a concentration in parasitology and gastro-oncology. The reason why I picked those two concentrations is because the gut is our motherboard. A lot of people don't realize gut feeling, intuition is all within your sacral. Your sacral sits in the middle of your gut. Your gut consists of your small intestines, your large intestines, and your stomach. When that is out of whack, that is when that goes down, that's where a lot of diseases are born from. And a lot of people don't know that diseases are formed from suppressed emotions. When an emotion has sat in the body for too long, that's when you start feeling the physical ailment. That is your body trying to tell you, hey, something is going on. I actually have an encyclopedia, which I'll grab for you guys in a second, that attributes every emotion to a disease. And it gives you, what I love about this book is that, believe it or not, I learned about this book in 2008. I never forget, because my daughter was about 6 months old. And a couple of girlfriends and we were having like a little powwow, and she introduced that book to me. And I looked for that book for years, not realizing the author changed the cover on me. So when I found it, I immediately ordered it, because again, when I tell you every disease known to man is attributed to an emotion, there's nothing I can't find in this book. And everyone that I've pulled this book out for, any of my intake patients, not patients, intake clients, any of my Reiki clients, and I read them what emotion has attributed to that, they tell me I'm spot on. Like I've literally brought people to tears off of the things I've read them. So a Reiki experience, like I said, just piggybacking, going back, with me, your first session is all about me tapping into your energy, seeing where you are, seeing what chakras are open or closed, seeing any messages that come to me. I am also clairaudient, I'm clairsentient, and I'm clairvoyant. So my clair is clicking like high level when I open my Reiki. I've also picked up another form of Reiki, and I have another attunement of which is called Lightarian Reiki. I'm actually going to be getting my third session. So it's with Lightarian Reiki, there's actually 8 to 9 levels. I don't remember. I'm still on the journey. I've gotten my first attunement, and I'm going for my third attunement by the end of this month, the beginning of next month. And all of that combined together opens up my energy level to a density level that I didn't even know existed prior to getting into Lightarian Reiki. So now the difference between Usui, being an Usui Reiki master, and adding on the Lightarian Reiki, the time that it used to take me, one difference that I do notice in the two, the time that it used to take me to open up a chakra is actually shortened now, because I have so much energy emitting through my body that I can actually open a chakra in a shorter amount of time. A blocked chakra, the longest I've spent on a chakra has been like 30 minutes. And that literally is me on one chakra trying to open you up. And now, say if I take that 30-minute chakra, I can literally open it in half the time. So now I can get through a Reiki session and open you up quicker, which would decrease the amount of sessions needed to come back to me. And again, for some people, everyone is different. A Reiki session, you can feel one of two sensations in a Reiki session. You can either feel really cold or really hot. Anytime you feel a cool sensation is because a blockage has been removed within your body. Meaning, if you look at a skeletal diagram, and let's use a chakra diagram to begin with. If you look at a chakra diagram, you literally see meridians through the body. If you put a skeletal overlay over a chakra diagram, and you put that skeletal overlay over that, those meridians is actually in real life, your lymph nodes, your lymph fluid flowing through your body. That is your life force energy. Now, for those of you that don't know, and this is the naturopathic side kicking in, your lymph system does not move unless you move, as to why exercise and movement is important. And for those that live a sedentary lifestyle, it's important for you to get up every hour to move so your lymph fluids can move. If your lymph fluids don't move, you start to retain water. They get blocked and you start seeing swelling by your lymph nodes, which are here, in your groin area, in your knees, and at your ankles. If those ever become blocked, things start to become sluggish. Again, another way your body is trying to tell you, when your lymph fluids is blocked, that's a good indication, and it's very indicative that your meridians in your body is blocked. That means you have stored emotion somewhere that needs to be addressed. The problem is, in today's society, we're too numb. A lot of people don't realize how much they've buried within their body. And sometimes the vessel just can't take it. That's when I say Reiki finds you, because 9 times out of 10, you have come to a point in your life where you feel like you need a healing and you just don't know where to start. That's where Reiki really steps in at. After I pull you out of your Reiki session, again, depending on the type of energy that was either moved around, disturbed, or aggravated, you can be really tired after a session. Normally, if it's your first session ever, I always instruct my students to take a salt bath to help replenish the minerals in your body, one that the environment, your lifestyle have robbed it of. And then with the energy, you start to notice more deficiencies within your body. And again, you start just learning how to live a different lifestyle, altering certain things so your body can feel good, so it can talk to you. And again, just getting those energy centers opened up so you can be your full authentic self. Any questions?
What was the book that you were mentioning?
Let me grab it. I'll be right back.
Okay. And again, for anyone who wants the recording of the session, you can reach out to me through Facebook or Instagram, and I can send you the link of the recording to the session. I will only be making it available for like a week. So if you're interested in getting the recording of this session, please reach out to me through Facebook or Instagram, or if you have my number, text me.
All right. The book is called The Encyclopedia of Ailments and Disease by Jacques Martel. And the front of it says, how to heal the conflicted feelings, emotions, and thoughts at the root of illness. When I tell you this is a must-have, if you're a healer, if you're a herbalist, if you are from a family that's plagued with health problems, this is definitely a must-have book.
Oh, okay, say it again, please, as I could barely type all of that. What is it called? The title of the book?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. What is the title of the book?
The Encyclopedia of Ailments and Diseases.
the encyclopedia.
Here, I'm going to put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Um, yeah, that sounds powerful. I've never heard of that.
I'm a bookworm, guys. I love to read. When I tell you I love to read, it's funny because when I listen to my mom tell my daughter's story, she was like, your mom used to always walk off in the mall. She said, and anytime she walked off, we knew exactly where to find her. You would find her in the nearest bookstore. There was one time, she said, I think I was 4 or 5. And she said they almost had to lock them all down because they couldn't find me. Sure enough, my brother said, go check the bookstore. And they said I was in the corner with a bunch of books around me just reading. I love to
Mhm.
read. So when I tell you information for me is key. I love information. I love to share information. I love to absorb information. There you go.
Shucks. The Encyclopedia of Ailments and Diseases by Jacques Martel. Okay, I just saw, oh, I see it does have two different covers. So but it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. I'm taking a picture of it, and for Facebook, I'm putting it in the chat so people can see it. Okay, thank you.
For anyone out there, I again, I hold classes every month, and I've gotten my calendar pretty together for up until March right now. Like on the 20th, I'm having an intro to chakra class, and that's at 8 o'clock. I'm also having a free class on Friday, February 3rd. And for those of you that want to learn a little bit more about what Reiki is in depth, that class is free and it's at 7 o'clock on Friday, February 3rd. The very next day, I'm actually having a holy love experience. Because of time differences and a lot of people, it's like I have the classes and sometimes I have to wait list people. So moving forward this year, I'm actually doing 2 classes a day within the month. So for the Saturday, February class, I'm no longer going to be doing the Holy Love experiences at night. I'm going to be doing them in the morning now. So February 4th class, I have an 8 a.m. class and a 12 noon class. And the 12 noon class is normally for my West Coast folks. The next class, I have an Empowering Goals Holy Fire class that I'm going to be doing also Saturday, February 25th. Now, for anyone out there that is a business owner that's thinking about starting a business or is struggling within a business, I recommend this class highly for you. Not only is this class going to help you clear any financial blocks that you have within your body or within your ancestral lineage, it's going to help propel you business-wise to the next level. It's going to help open up your consciousness to see things in a different light and to help you understand where you really are going wrong and what traits that you have that's actually holding you back. The dope part about that is this class is that you're also going to get a holy love experience within it as well. That, like I said, that class is on February 25th. And then my calendar is not okay. Let me go for March. I have which class? The Holy Fire class for March is on. Oh, wait. My phone just died on me, guys. Sorry. I was wondering why I was stalling, but definitely check out my website, which is www.i-m-seychelles, SEYCHELLES.com. Hence, I am Seychelles. I'm going to be doing free classes and paid classes. My classes are very nominal. Like the Holy Love Experience classes are $22.22. The Empowering Goals class, I think is like around $33 or $44. I don't remember because that's an immersive class. That class is going to go over the span of 2 days. The Reiki class, I think, is $9.99. And like I said, I throw free classes in there as well. So definitely follow me on Instagram at @I am_Seychelles, and on TikTok at @I am Seychelles. I share a lot from TikTok to Instagram, so you guys can keep up with me to know what I'm doing. But like I said, be prepared to see me this year. I was quiet all of 2022, but 2023, I'm coming out. I planned a lot. I was sat down at the end of the year, so I had nothing but planning to do. And I'm just looking forward to connecting with you guys.
So, someone is asking, what are all the classes that you offer, and also are they virtual or in person?
No, they're virtual. They're all over Zoom right now. Because I am in New York and I have people from all over, I am looking this year locally to start doing retreats as well. So that's something I want you guys to look out for on my page. I haven't really gotten all the full details, but honestly, I plan the classes months in advance. So for right now, for the first quarter, those are the classes that I have. I haven't even gotten to sit down and plan what I'm going to do for second quarter yet, which would be April, May, June. But like I said, one of the things on my to-do list for this year was to start retreats where we have an immense weekend away somewhere. I haven't decided if we're going to go abroad or stay in the States. But I definitely, one of my plans is to have them in spiritual places so the experience can be that much more greater. I'm still working out the details for that, but information will be coming out no later than the end of second quarter. So by the beginning of summer, I'll have information on what kind of retreat I will be offering and where it will be and things of that nature. But it's just literally checking my calendar often, because I update, like I said, I update my calendar 3 months in advance. So right now, just January through March classes are up. When it comes to the Holy Love experience, when you go to my website, I literally have what classes and what Holy Love experiences, the dates for those 3 months, and you get a brief description of what it's about so you can kind of pick and choose which classes you want to do.
And yes, and what are some of the classes that you offer?
So those are the ones that I explained. So I have an what is Reiki class, an intro to chakra class. I know for second quarter on my tentative list, I was going to teach about crystals because I'm really big into crystals. So I do what's called crystal Reiki healing. I incorporate in my Reiki sessions sound healing, crystals, and the energy of Reiki. I am a big believer on the metaphysical properties when it comes to crystals, and especially the crystals that I use universally on my students. So again, to sit right now and give you a comprehensive list, I am not that organized. I'm very honest with you. You got to give me 3 months in advance because right now my life is hectic because I do still work a 9 to 5, and I literally leave my 9 to 5 and I come home and I do Reiki from 6 to 9:30 weeknights. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm off for school. So when I'm not doing Reiki, I'm in school. And when I'm not in school, I'm trying to put content out and still be a wife and a mother and still have time for me. So as you can see, I'm a pretty stretched thin right now.
So, definitely like to ask, what is your story? How in the world did you get started on this path?
My life was, I was a low-key rock star. I'm not gonna lie. It was a wild and crazy ride. And I don't regret not one lesson learned in it. Um, Believe it or not, I started school. When I started college, I started pre-med. The fact that I had just went through 12 years of Catholic school, so a lot of indoctrination, would by the time my mother made it off the campus, I had changed my major and she didn't even know it. I literally changed my major 7 times, but it's funny how life comes back full circle because I always knew I was a healer. Like my biggest dream is I wanted to be the female Dr. Huxtable. Ever since I was little, I wanted to be the female Dr. Huxtable, and I was going to marry my version of Claire, and a man. So I was going to be the doctor. I was going to marry a lawyer. Didn't do either. But again, Reiki found me. I had like a little mini breakdown in 2015 and a very tumultuous 3 days full of crying, like literally started crying from say 9 o'clock one night and cried all the way to the next morning. Life just hit me one day, and it always, for some reason, I really realized, I think my shower is a portal, because that's when it all started. One night I came in from a night of drinking. I used to be a heavy drinker, and I literally was a fifth of Hennessy a night type of girl. Literally came in one night from hanging out with one of my homegirls, called my husband, told him I'm coming in. We were going to do some things. Literally was like, let me go get in the shower. I literally got in the shower and I started hearing this voice, and I'm looking around like I really felt like I was going crazy. Then my heart started racing real bad. Then it's like I started hyperventilating, and in my head, 1,000 thoughts was going on. I'm like, did the girl I was just with try to poison me? What the hell is going on? And to this day, I don't know. I literally just remember kneeling down in the corner of my shower and crying. My husband came in and was like, what's wrong? I couldn't talk. I just cried. I cried. I cried so bad. And all I remember saying is, I want my brother. My brother literally left from New Jersey to come and get me. I stopped crying long enough to get in the truck. He literally said, what's wrong? And I started crying again. I cried all the way to Jersey, cried myself to sleep when I got to my mother's house, cried for another 24 hours. And finally, I had enough of crying. From there, I literally started. Like, I knew at that moment something was broken and I needed to figure out how I was going to fix it. No one else but me. And that's literally how I got started on my journey. So don't do what I did. I did it. The Hennessy part, it was fun, but then it wasn't fun, because all of that spewed out, I did enough crying.
And so from there, from I guess that big emotional purge, I mean, I was just thinking like, boy, that was like purging even some ancestral stuff, for all of that crying. So then what are some of the things that you did?
Believe it or not, from there, I stalked my Reiki practitioner for like a year. I literally stumbled upon her page at Galactic. Her Instagram name is at Galactic Hood Buddha on Instagram.
Miladies.
Yes,
Okay.
ladies is my Reiki practitioner. I haven't seen her in a while. She's gonna kill me. It's been over a year since I've sat with Miladies. But Miladies even told me, I remember, I want to say it was my second Reiki session, and Miladies told me, she was like, you're powerful. She was like, when I get done with you, she was like, I'm not going to always be here. She was like, but I know once you get done healing, you're going to be a beast. And I was just like, she don't know what she's talking about. So, but literally, I watched Miladies in the background for a year. I can't even remember whose page I was on, but I was on somebody else's page and I saw her, and I wound up clicking her page, and I was like low-key stalking her, whether she knew it or not. And I literally watched her for a year. New Year's Eve 2017, I called her, and my first session was New Year's Eve 2018. 2018 was the year I decided to become a Reiki practitioner. My first session with her, she basically told me what was going on. She answered a lot of questions that I had that I didn't even know I had, but it was just like a knowing. And I remember her telling me, she was like, listen, by my second or third session, I remember her saying to me, she was like, listen, I think you need to become a Reiki practitioner. And I was like, huh? She was like, you don't realize you're a healer. And I was like, I kind of know I am, but I just didn't know like there was a thing about it. Like, you hear about people, but at that point I was still kind of skeptical. Did the research, signed up for the class, and again, just went in with a half open mind. And literally the first day of the class, this is how bad off I was. Now, these holy love experiences are given to Reiki studying students who are becoming Reiki practitioners. One of the four is given to Reiki practitioners to start off the class before the attunement. And I remember my Reiki master doing it, and I literally felt like I was gonna throw up. I had to like stop her. I'm like, I don't know what you doing, but I'm nauseated. And that's when she told me, she was like, your solar plexus is such in a bad state. Now, for those of you that don't know, quick chakra tutorial. Your root chakra is formed birth to 5 years of life. Your sacral is formed 5 to 8 years of life. Your solar plexus is formed 8 to 16, stretch it to about 18 years of life. That's basically your whole childhood. And that is why it is a part of your physical in real life, because all of those stages of your chakras are formed the first 18 years of your life. Now, let's look at your first 18 years of life. How was it? How was your foundation, which is your root? How was your creativity, which is your sacral? How was your confidence, which is your solar plexus? And then again, heart is universal. That's formed throughout your whole lifetime. That's why, again, it's the most important, one of the most two important chakras. A lot of people don't know the chakras work simultaneously with each other. The root and the heart work hand in hand. The sacral and the throat work hand in hand. The solar plexus and the third eye work hand in hand. And the crown is on its own, because again, that is your most highest spiritual guidance that you're going to get. That is your, again, think about your head and your feet. Physically, they tell you when you keep your head and your feet warm, the body is warm. Same thing when you have to keep your feet and your head protected, especially being spiritual. Chinese believe that the most important conduits where the key energy come in through is your crown and your feet. You connect to the earth through your feet. You connect to your most highest spiritual guidance through your crown, your head. That is where that Kundalini chi, well, they call it key energy, flows through. So it's important to have all of those centers open so that you can be your most fullest self. You can get your most authentic guidance and be your most authentic self. Hold on, my laptop is about to die on us. Oh, everything dying.
Thank you for that chakra tutorial. I when I first learned about chakras, I didn't realize how powerful and impactful they are, and learning to work with them can really elevate your healing, just really bring it up another level.
Right. It no, definitely. A lot of people are walking empty vessels and they don't realize it. They've numbed themselves to the points where they don't even realize how shut down they are. Um, let's let's take the person that's just snappy, that's just angry, that every time you talk to them, they just have an attitude. You be like, were you hugged as a child? That's an indication that not only is your gut out of whack, but your solar plexus is no good. Like your solar plexus is completely blocked. There is your confidence. Those outbursts is because of your low self-esteem or the low confidence that you have. There's so many ways that adults are acting out that they don't realize it's childhood trauma that they need healing in order to be a more to be more in touch with their soul. A lot of people don't realize their soul is calling for a lot, but your body has to be clear. You have to eat and take care of your body to be able to pick up those cues to understand when your body is trying to communicate with you, when your most highest spiritual guidance is trying to talk to you. And sometimes the subtleties is through your body. You there?
Sorry, yeah, I was trying to press the mute button. Yeah, like you said, a lot of times many of us are just walking around in adult bodies,
Yeah.
wounded inner children walking around in adult bodies. And like what I like to say is a lot of times, especially when you're out in public and people snap at you, they're not angry at you,
It's
in
something
that moment.
they're going
Yeah,
through internally.
yeah, they're mad at something that happened 10 years ago or 15 years ago, or when they were 5, or maybe even that morning. So that someone say, how can you think like that? It's like it also helps to really depersonalize
Mhm.
and understand that people are just going through things, so it can bring in a kind of element of compassion too.
Definitely. And again, why it's so important to have an open heart chakra. That open heart chakra, when you know your heart chakra is open, you come from a more compassionate place. And a lot of people lack empathy these days. Again, indicative that the heart is shut down. There's too many shut down hearts, and it's important to know when you have to extend that extra bit of compassion, even when you want to snap back. Sometimes you have to realize and definitely put yourself in other people's shoes. I'm not saying always do that, but sometimes let's just take a moment to say, okay, whatever is going through has to be internal, because sometimes it be people you barely know, and you be like, well, what the hell is your problem? I didn't sleep with you last night. Like, I don't get what's going on. And you got to think, all right, what could they possibly be going through as to why they're taking out something on me that doesn't even belong to me? So again, that heart chakra is really important, working on it, purging it. And what a lot of people don't like to do, they don't like to cry. Um, how do you know when a chakra is closed or open? Just look at what you're going through. You will notice certain traits. So for instance, when you have a closed root chakra, you're very reserved, you're very shut down. You're always thinking negative. You're all over the place. You can't seem to keep relationships, friendships, anything. You're just unstable. Um, Hold on one second. I got something that'll answer this a little bit better. There's so many different um there's so many different things. I actually bought this chart. I don't know if you can see it. I actually got this off of Amazon. There's another one that I have that I done got lost already. There's another one that I have that was really more detailed that I can't seem to find anywhere, so I might have to reorder it. But for instance, like your root, your survival instincts, your emotion of fear, that's all in your root chakra. And again, I ask you to go back and ask yourself some fact finding questions. How was your childhood? Was your childhood stable, or was it volatile? Was it nurturing? Was it cold? um a lot of people are walking around with closed and blocked root chakras for years and don't even realize it. Different emotions that you emit, aggressiveness, over aggressiveness. I'm trying to think of another one for root. I can't really, but anything dealing with your security, anything dealing with fear, and how you respond to those things, asking those questions and how you respond to those answers, that'll let you know if it's open or closed. When it comes to your sacral, your sexual activity, are you intimate? It does your sex life suck? Do you not really like sex? Do you feel like you're not creative? Do you feel like when it comes to creativity, that bug missed you? That can be indicative that you didn't have a creative childhood. It can also mean that creativity in your life or anything to be birthed is not there because your sacral chakra is closed. When it comes to your solar plexus, it's all about energy and vitality. How is your energy? Are you a person that lets people walk all over you? Are you shy and in the corner, or are you very outspoken and arrogant? Those can go either way. But when it comes to solar plexus, how you exert your willpower, how is your personal authority? If you notice that it's not the best, that can be indicative of an underactive solar plexus or a closed solar plexus. Are you too, what's the word I'm looking for? Are you too flamboyant? Are you too arrogant? Are you too boastful? That can be an overactive chakra, because the chakras can go one of many ways. It can be open, it can be closed, it can be blocked, it can be underactive, it can be overactive. Again, heart, are you cold or are you nurturing? Are you loving and compassionate, or does your ego take over? Do you have a positive attitude or do you have a negative attitude? Throat, how do you express yourself? Are you a person that doesn't let a person get a word in, or are you a person that lets people talk to you any type of way without standing up and having boundaries? Same thing with third eye. Third eye, most people's third eye is closed. And I tell everyone, especially when I'm getting to open up that particular chakra, it can be unnerving sometimes, especially depending on how long you've been closed off. Because once that veil is lifted, you do not see people no longer the same. You don't see people, places, or things the same. And how you were seeing things. Sometimes you think you're seeing the truth of what something is, not realizing you're seeing an illusion. Do you give people the benefit of the doubt, even though your gut is telling you they're not who they are, but you see something that you think, is it something that you think you see? Again, that veil may be over you and you might not be seeing a situation for what it is. And again, your crown, does your head feel heavy? Do you feel like it's hard to focus? Do you feel like your thoughts are all over the place? Same thing is not being focused, but you'll find yourself having little numbing headaches or pressure in your head. There is so many ways that your body talks to you, and it also alerts you to the energy that's going on within your body. For someone that's constantly fatigued, again, indicative that your root chakra is something's going on with the root. Does your legs feel heavy? Do you feel like you're walking with 2 cement bricks? Anytime your legs start to feel heavy, that can be a number of things. But again, it all goes back to the root.
I do have this a question here. Are there any tips to assist someone to open up their heart chakra?
Yes. So now, for anyone looking to open up their chakras, meditation, journaling, just being present, being still. I like there's a few go-to meditations on YouTube that I go to. I listen to meditations daily. I'm gonna be honest with you, when you start listening to certain frequencies, and Kanye West said it best. There was an interview Kanye West did, and he talked about today's music, and he was like, you want to know why there's so much killing and violence and things of that nature? It's the frequencies. Frequencies are very important. And if you've been exposed to low vibrational frequencies for a long time, notice how you act. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm a hip hop head, right? I could go from Dipset to Sade in a matter of seconds. And when I'm in Dipset mode, I'm in hustle mode. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take over the world. I'm a spiritual drug dealer dealing out incense and and butters, right? Then I can go to Sade, and Sade will put me in a mood to where I'm introspective. I'm thinking about things on a more intellectual level or a more profound level. Again, it's all about the frequency that you're exposing yourself to. So when it comes to chakras, definitely looking at the frequencies. Look into Sol Fuego frequencies, and I'm going to put that in the chat so Abina could put it in for you guys. These frequencies are good. There are times where you are so closed off, you're not going to be able to open it. That is definitely a time when a Reiki practitioner comes in handy. Now, picking your Reiki practitioner is like picking your doctor. I'm not going to lie to you. It's someone that's going to get to know you intimately, and depending on their gifts, they can, again, I'm a couple of clairs and I'm an empath. So you can sit here and lie to me all day. Your energy is not going to lie. So I've had clients literally come and tell me a whole song and story, and then I've read them for filth, and they looked at me like they done saw a ghost. No, ma'am. You didn't. You can tell me what you want all day. My favorite line to my students: by all means, lie to me. Just don't lie to yourself. And the problem is a lot of people don't know how to be honest with their feelings. Again, you could come in, you could tell me what you want, but your energy is going to tell me the truth. And when I put my hands on you, I'm really going to see the truth. So picking your Reiki practitioner is about doing research and about knowing who is going to intimately see you at your worst and at your best. And you're comfortable with that, because again, depending on that Reiki practitioner's gifts, they may be able to see more than what you see, and then what you're willing to be honest about, if you're not at that point of being honest. So just again, definitely, if you feel like there are areas within you that you feel are closed off after listening to tonight's discussion, definitely look into a Reiki practitioner and getting a Reiki session. You owe yourself that much. And ask questions, because I'm hearing there's a lot of Reiki practitioners out there that don't even tell you what the state of your chakras are. They're basically just going and saying, oh, I healed you, come back. No, I give homework. Again, when you come to I Am Seychelles, it's like you're coming to class, because again, my goal is to help you help yourself. So I'm not going to just lay hands on you and then say, all right, come back to me in 3 months. I want you to know what's going on. I want you to research what I'm telling you. I want you to get to know yourself more intimately and deeply. So can't nobody check you. You got to be able to check yourself, because once you're able to check yourself, can't nobody check you. We're in a period right now where attention is a whole drug. So there's a lot of people living in illusions. I'm going to shatter that. I promise you. Come on back, Abina.
Yeah, it's this mute, the mute button. So how would someone prepare for maybe their first Reiki session?
So anytime you book with me, you actually get a notification. You get a couple of notifications for me. You get your reminder, but I also send you tips on how to. For me, I would love for you to drink 2 glasses of water, be in a quiet place, free of distractions. So if you have children, please allow time to have someone watch them or to look over them, watch them or drop them off. But I want you to be in a completely comfortable space for yourself. Find somewhere in your house where it's like where you go to zone out. As long as you're able to lay down and I can see you from the waist up, I'm okay. But drinking 2 glasses of water, being somewhere comfortable, and being in comfortable clothing. Very simple. All because really, like I said, within the first 5 to 10 minutes, you're normally in a deep meditation once I start.
Okay, thank you for that. Because yeah, I know some people who have never experienced it before. I'm like, okay, do I fast? What do I wear? Things like that. So thank you for keeping it very, very straightforward.
Mhm.
Let's see. Someone said they really want to thank you for sharing your stories, and that's um definitely why I asked, because it makes, when people hear the stories, it really helps them to know that, you can do this no matter what has happened. You can heal.
Listen, the best way I like to say to people is we all hit rock bottom at sometimes. Everybody's rock bottom is different. And prior to that moment in 2015, mind you, 2015, I was 1 year married at that time. Even though I've been with my husband 16 years, we had just got married in 2014. So to have that happen a year after getting married, we all get into a dark space. I believe in the 5-minute rule. Everybody's allowed 5 minutes. Have your 5 minutes, kick, scream, cuss, do what you got to do, but don't stay there. The problem is a lot of people stay there, and then again you start to internalize. You start to keep things in. The one thing about me, and even with me crying for almost 72 hours, I've always been a vocal person. I've always been an outspoken person, but I did have a bad habit of suffering in silence. I'll have this big, pretty smile on my face and I'll be dying on the inside before I ask for help. I've always been a person that, even as a child, I've been very independent from a young age. When I say young, I mean as early as 7 years old. And my independence at that age prepared me for a lot as an adult, whether I knew it or not. But I wasn't free from going through my own dark moments. But again, I don't regret anything because I lived a good life. Like I've really had a good life. Um, to a lot of people, I look at others who have more than me, and even compared to them, I know I've lived a damn good life. I was exposed to a lot from a young age, and it shaped who I am today. So I say this to everyone: your shame is your story. Don't ever let nobody tell your story. You are here to tell your own story, and can nobody put that sauce on it like you can. So stand in your truth. Don't be ashamed of what you've been through, because guess what? Your testimony is somebody else's savior, whether you know it or not. You telling your story might stop someone from doing something emotionally crazy because you shared it. There's a lot of people out there that's going through a lot. We all put on a front sometimes like, oh, everything is good. Everybody goes through something. It's how you deal with it. And that's what one of my biggest purposes is, to show you how to deal with it and still have a good damn time. Honestly.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, there are so many likes and so many hearts on Facebook right now.
Thank you,
As
guys. Like,
you,
I'm truly grateful for just even being able to sit here and tell you. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of suffered from, I grew up in an era, it's funny, I grew up in between two generations. I grew up between the industrial age generation and the start of the technological generation. So my motto, and because of how I grew up, I was always a no face, no trace type of person. I'm kind of private. So trying to get a depth to come out here and even talk to you guys was a big feat for me, because I was supposed to do that last year and that I failed. I failed miserably. So this year I'm making a concerted effort to follow my own advice. My story is not one of the most worst ones. Yes, I've put myself in situations to where I can tell stories. Unfortunately, again, I'm an adventurous person and I was very spontaneous in my 20s. So I always jumped and thought about the shit later. And it has put me in some interesting positions. But again, part of what I went through, there's someone else out there who's probably on 2/5 of Henny a night. I know what it's like. Again, don't let nobody tell your story. Tell it, because again, you don't know who you're an inspiration for. And just you guys giving me that confirmation lets me know I got to do this again and again and again. As uncomfortable as I was tonight, could you tell? I faced the fear. And that's what it's about, facing those fears and putting one foot in front of the other.
wow. Wow. Because, for the first time I met you, when you were at the event, like, oh my gosh, like last year, oh my gosh, almost a year ago, we were
Mhm.
like, when you were at the event, and it's like, okay, yeah, hi, Joe, this is Miss Seychelles. And you started talking. I was like, I never knew that was in you. That was just, I
Right.
mean, you just, I mean, you, Miss Johnson, I still talk about that. You just totally opened up and shifted the energy of that day. So for you to say, oh, you were shy, and they're like, where?
Yeah, it's like, it took a lot to get here, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. It's many interviews I'm invited to, and I fumbled. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. But I'm a big energy person as well. If your energy feels off at any way, shape, or form to me, I will dub you in a heartbeat. That was one thing I honestly was a big thing that I had to work on, especially spiritually. My art of detachment is real. I will act like I don't know you. So I have no problem detaching from something. And that was something I had to learn. You can't do that. Like I just can't do that. But again, the energy has to be right. I'm very protective of my energy at this point in my life. 20 years ago, I'd have any and everybody around me, because I like to have fun. And one thing, once you get to know me, I'm a big ass kid. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I am never growing up. I just put up a post today and I'm like, it's the Tom and Jerry meme. And it's like, I'm on the phone trying to renegotiate this soul contract because I just can't believe I signed up for this shit. I'm tired. I am like seriously tired. And that's me in real life. I like to have fun. I like to bug out. But again, I love information. So whether it's sharing or absorbing it, I'm forever a student. I just love being around like-minded people. And what I am learning more about myself, I can't have mundane conversations anymore. Like those, hey, what you doing? What's up with this? What's going on with that? Those don't, I get so turned off by it now. But teach me something, I'm all ears. Like, what's up? What I'm learning? I'm all for it. And for anyone out there that wants to share that, by all means. I have a plethora of information within inside of me. And I did promise myself this year, you people are gonna get all this work. You gonna get some info, you gonna get some info, you gonna get some knowledge. Everybody gonna get something. Y'all gonna get tired of me, I promise. Y'all gonna be like, she played too much. Come on back, Avina.
Doing all this talking. So, what came to my mind as you were talking, I wanted to ask you, kind of before you close, if you could do just like a brief meditation or affirmation for people, because what I'm feeling, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, that it's the beginning of the year and your message is so strong and powerful for whoever might be experiencing something right now. So is there just some like meditation or affirmation that right now
So
you,
no, I actually had a surprise for you
oh
guys.
boy,
Hold on one second.
Okay, and again, our speaker for this week's Transformation Thursday, Miss Seychelles. If you're watching on Facebook, she is on Facebook as Seychelles Doyley. If you see the live, I've tagged her on the live. And her Instagram is I am Seychelles.
Wait, I am underscore Seychelles.
I just couldn't think it was an underscore or a dash.
I
Thank you for that.
actually wanted to pull a card for the collective. So I had one of the decks out. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, so that's underscore. Okay. Um, and I'm just going to say a little commercial right here. For those of you who do follow me on Facebook or Instagram, January 28th, in the Bronx, I'm doing first empowerment event of the year, Jewels from Pressure, um, for surviving, thriving, and healing. So just to let you know that this event is happening on January 28th. We will have healing movement. We will have a workshop on writing a letter to your inner child. We will have a workshop on affirmations. We will discuss co-parenting, and our two featured speakers will discuss how they move through adversity through victory. So that is January 28th. If you see me on Facebook, it's my profile photo, and it is on Instagram as well. Okay, that was just my commercial.
No, go ahead. I actually wanted to pull. I felt compelled when I was towards the end to pull a goddess card for the collective that showed up tonight. I don't know why. So that was my surprise. I am going to pull 2 cards. I'm going to pull the goddess collective card, and I'm going to pull the positive affirmation card to send everyone tonight away with a message. Okay, I got a card that jumped out that I'm going to take. Nope. Okay. Hey, love it, love it, love it. Okay. The collective has cosmic power, Mawalisa, and Yemaya awakening. There is a lot of energy in the room tonight. Specifically for one part of the collective, someone within the collective needs to balance their feminine and masculine energies. Once those are balanced, your awakening is going to happen so much more. And what I mean by that, the awakening is going to be beautiful. For those that's already going through an awakening, there's a birth happening, whether physical or spiritual, meaning you're either going to birth an idea. I'm hearing a business, an idea, a business, or a child. There is somebody within the collective that is meant to work with someone. If there is a business opportunity on the table, I'm hearing take it. And the positive affirmation you got is, I am becoming the best version of myself. Please write that down and repeat that to yourself for the next 30 days. Put it on a Post-it and put it next to your mirror in the bathroom, or put it somewhere that you'll frequent. I'm hearing someone in particular really needed that message tonight. Stand in your power, guys. Again, Abina, you have the energy that I picked up tonight during this conversation is very powerful, and a lot of people are not standing in their power. I need you guys to know how powerful you are. Whatever's been sitting in the back of your mind, act on it. Whatever you've been feeling, listen to it. Whatever you've been harboring, please release it. And that is my message for you guys tonight.
It's so interesting that you said that because I know this is a 7 year and this is supposed to be about expansion.
Planting,
Is that
planting those seeds, planting those seeds. So remember, I started off the discussion with that. With this 7 year, it's all about planning and being humble. Humility is going to play a big part. Humility, patience, planning. PPH.
PPH? Okay, that makes it easy to remember. And can you repeat your website again? Okay, so what if someone said on Instagram, thank God you are here now, as you were sharing your story, said, thank God you are here now. Thank you for coming and sharing your story. How do we get in touch with you?
I just put the website in the chat so you could transfer, Abina.
Okay, so
again, guys, you just don't realize tonight, again, was my confirmation. Thank you for helping me get over that fear. Thank you for even tuning in and listening to me. Thank you for being present. Thank you just for believing in me, just for hearing me out. And I hope I was able to answer everybody's questions.
yes, I really feel people, I feel like people are feeling very uplifted by this. Thank you. And you're in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Okay, in Brooklyn. Okay. So are you offering is there anything in person for your services?
So yes, I do offer in person, but you would have to work our first session would have to be online. And normally the only in-persons that I accept right now are like long-term clients. Like we're working on something long-term, meaning you're going through one of my courses. So I do offer private courses where if you have experienced any type of trauma, I like to say I'm the inner child slayer. And what I mean by that, I have a gift of connecting with everyone's inner child, again, because I'm such a big kid myself. So I notice when I have clients whose inner child talk to me, they connect with me very well. So I have a 7-week course that I offer. It's not on my website. It's we do a consultation and I even see if we're fit to do that. But within that 7 weeks, we go through Reiki healing, shadow work, ancestral healing, and inner child healing. Again, we go through a consultation and we have a discussion. I see where you are. I see if we're a fit. You know, I see if your guides accept me, if my guides accept you, and we move on from there. But there's so many different things that I'm going to offer you guys. Again, I'm not that organized. Work with me. I will be getting a lot of stuff on the web, but anytime you even have a question, feel free to chat with me right on the web. I see everyone that comes on, and as soon as you send a message, I get it instantaneously and I answer instantaneously. So any questions, any concerns, jump in my DM or chat with me on the web.
Okay, and your Claire, any of your Claire's services available also? Are you available for just those sessions?
So I offer on my website Reiki, the classes, and tarot readings.
Okay.
And some of the tarot readings, like right now, I do Akashic readings, I do ancestral readings, and just regular tarot and oracle. And it's 2 sessions. You got to do 30 minutes, 60 minutes.
Okay, okay. We have covered so much, and I am deeply grateful for you being here and sharing. And I remember you reached out to me like, "Oh, can I be on?" I'm like, "Uh-oh, she's gonna blow us away."
Look, you know how long I was supposed to reach out. Abina, you was on my to-do list last year. I told you I failed last year. I wasn't ready. I wasn't
Well, everything is just in divine time. So thank you very
ready.
much. Thank you everyone who was watching this evening. She is Miss Seychelles. I've put her website here. I've also added her. Oh my God! Wait, got I'm sorry, a whole bunch of comments just came.
Okay.
Okay, I put the website. How can I contact you? You do readings. Follow her on Instagram or message her here on Facebook. I've tagged her in the caption for this post, and you can reach out to her, Miss Seychelles. You can reach out to her on Messenger, on Instagram. I just got a whole bunch of comments.
Yes.
So
My website link is also in my Instagram. Again, if you put in IMS for short, if you put in IMS for short, I think I pop up that way too, because I know my name is like extremely long.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, just putting it that way. Okay, so I think you will be getting some calls and messages
I appreciate you
from
guys. Come on, let's get healing. Where my healers at? Where are my healers? Do I have any healers in the room? Because I need more. We need more out here. Let's get it
absolutely,
popping.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, everyone, thank you so much again for tuning in to this Transformation Thursday, week 113. Again, the commercial again for January 28th, Jewels from Pressure, celebrating survivors and thrivers and healing here in the Bronx, Saturday, January 28th. If you would like the recording from this evening's session, please reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram or message me, and I will send you the link to this transformative and powerful session we've enjoyed tonight. Thank you so very much, Ms. Seychelles. Thank you.
My
Thank
light
you.
love.
Okay, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Yes, good
Thank
night,
you. Much
everyone.
gratitude again for having me. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.